Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news in review for December 8th, 2019. And every single week, week in, week out, it surprises me that so much stuff keeps happening in our fun collector world. But I'm gonna start the video talking about some things that we already knew about, but clarifying these details. Then we're gonna get into more fun stuff. Coming up. Before I get into all that, I just want to talk about my partner, Show Z. Everybody asks me, or at least 2-3 times a week, somebody asks me, how do you afford to buy so many different figures and multiples of the same figure and all this stuff? Because Show Z has the best price. And here's how you navigate Show Z. Pre-order from them early. You get the double down on the pre-order, $3, whatever, and then they double it, and they give you the lowest price, and all of that. Once the pre-orders are filled, and the regular last 15 or 20 go up, the price goes up. So Show Z, pre-order, get stuff cheap. So let's do a masterpiece roundup. We're talking about a Takara masterpiece roundup. And MP49 is going to be this black convoy, which is MP44, that doesn't have a trailer, doesn't have all the accessories, doesn't have any figures with it, the spike, or any of those 3 figures that came with it. And it's going to be $249.99 on TF Source, but other places have it cheaper. Show Z will have it cheaper. They don't have their price up yet. They will have it cheaper. Amazon Japan shows it at about $220, $218, something like that, after the conversion and the shipping and all that stuff. So that is the big question from last week. What is this mold worth without all of the accessories and $220? I have to admit, everybody hated on this MP45 Bumblebee, and I absolutely love this figure. So, you know what? If I'm the only person on the planet that loves this figure, I don't really care. The thing is, he looks tuned. I have 2 of them, and I have him in different displays, and he makes both of them look way better. And I pulled that MP21 out, put him on a different shelf. I never liked MP21. I thought he looked like he was pregnant. I thought that the color was off. I thought that he was too short. I thought that for the price they were charging, he wasn't worth it. And yes, this is expensive. If you buy Amazon Japan, you can get the official $4.91. You can get the KO or the Saturday Night Special from Show Z for $72. And I think he's worth the $72, definitely, easily. But he looks freaking amazing. From the side or the back, not perfect. But you know what? This is the best looking Bumblebee that's ever been made, in my opinion. Now, T-Man 978 has shown us a way to condense the foot. So on the left side, you see the regular foot. On the right side, you see the T-Man. Basically, it's kind of hard to see in this picture. I thought I'd captured it better. But when you rotate around the fender for the foot, then this is just not rotating the fender around and just pushing the foot, shoving it up the tire and the fender straight against the back of the leg, and that makes everything condense down a little bit more. If you need me to make a video to show you exactly how to do this, I could do this, but hey, good job, T-Man 978. Go over there and give him a like. Last part of my Masterpiece Roundup is I want to talk about Hound. Hound is supposed to be out anywhere between the December 31st and January 4th, and sadly, I don't think he's going to make this year's top 10 list for anybody. I don't think this will arrive to anybody's house in the States by the end of the year, unless somebody waits till January 5th or something to make their top 10 list for 2019. Sadly, he would definitely dominate it, in my opinion. I don't even have him yet, but I'm pretty sure he will, and he won't be able to make it. So one more clarification from last week. We did see a little bit about a Raiden project. Now we see more about the Raiden project from Takara. And there's a picture floating around showing a basically chug scale version next to the Hasbro or Takara version of Predaking. And I personally don't think that is what this is. But if that really is what this is, then I am severely disappointed, because it says straight up this is a masterpiece. And I really think that Takara is going to redefine the masterpiece scale, and it would actually be bigger and more impressive than what Zeta's done. But they may prove me wrong. We'll find out in the future. Transform Element is coming out with their own version of Mirage. This thing is a thing of beauty. I really think they have done an excellent job with this figure. The back cleans up. I'm not 100% sure by looking at the pictures how intricate the transformation is going to be, but I did put a video talking about how complex these things are getting, and some people say they like the challenge. Some people say, well, 70% of people don't transform their Transformers because they're getting too complex. So, I mean, that definitely is an issue we talk about, but you cannot deny the fact that this thing is absolutely freaking beautiful. Look at this thing. It is amazing. And I have to admit that I did not think Sphinx was the best version to come out. I always thought Takara would top it, but looking at these different versions, I actually have the DX9 one coming in. I got it for $50 from Show Z. I want to review it. I want to talk about it. I think $50, it's worth it to just have it and to see what it's like. But I'm going to go deeper and dig deeper into the detail and the comparisons then. But right here you can see all of these figures compared side to side, and Transform Element, whenever it does finally come out, will do very well compared to the Toon look. But if you also look at this thing, you can see that it still carries the gigantic rear tire, or the back of the foot tire, which the animation shows a mass shift on the tire, and Takara proved with their Hound that they know a new way to mass shift tires and do fake tires, and I think Takara could still win this in the end. But would it be even worth it? Because Transform Element looks so good. Last part of Masterpiece Roundup is I've seen this picture float around, and it is a beautiful picture showing all of the Masterpiece figures. Well, not all of them, but is this all of them that's come out? I mean, that can't be all that's come out. Anyway, showing the new Black Arachnia, how she scales with the rest of them, and this looks good, and I do like the way they show top to bottom, biggest to smallest. Looks great. Next bit of business is this Streak that is getting the Plus treatment. Now, I have a bit of a problem with the Plus figures. Going this far, I am okay with picking up one of each mold in the Plus. Now, I'm not going to go 12 deep in each mold. Like, they've gone 12 with one of the molds. There are 12 versions. I'm not going that deep. In fact, I'm not going to go too deep in any mold. Just one of each mold is fine with me. But here is the difference side by side, saying that you could get the other one for $60. This is $80, or you already have it, so you have money spent and you don't have to spend any more money to buy this. That is purely up to you. But this gives it a more Toon look, and there it is. Is that something you want? Let me know in the comments. We have yet another masterpiece. Well, it's not even a masterpiece. It's not even a transforming. This is YOLO Park Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, and it was revealed at Singapore Comic-Con, which, by the way, how do we have a Comic-Con and this is all that comes out of it? But anyway, this is going to be almost 2 foot tall, so massive big. What's it going to scale with? I don't know. Looks good in the prototype form. We also have the back view. Now, this does not transform. That gets kind of into the whole age-old question. Do you even buy Transformers that don't transform? Is it really a Transformer? Is it a Transformer because it looks like a Transformer? It's in the Transformers world, in the realm, and then it gets into this whole Super 7 little figures. Is that something that you even want? Hey, let me know in the comments. So since I got off on a tangent talking about movie stuff, this is the movie Jetfire, which, by the way, is not what I envisioned Jetfire to look like when I first watched the movie and saw it was Jetfire. But anyway, this dude is going to be huge. He's going to be like 14 inches or something like that. Okay, 12.99 inches. Has plastic and die-cast all-metal painting, added red lights in the head, added alloy die-cast parts. Can be combined with the LS-14 Optimus Prime. It can be transformed into SR-71 Plane. And this Jetfire is going to be like $67. This is an OIMEC KO oversize. This is $46 KO oversize LS-14 Optimus Prime. He will stand a little under 10 inches tall, and he looks good. So this is like Studio Series upsized. And the Oi Mech Jetfire was a leader upsized to crazy heights. This is upsized also, and this is what it's going to look like when they combine. Now, I've always been intrigued by this whole concept with Prime taking on the armor from Jetfire, and so for that, it looks pretty cool. Here they are in their alt modes, and of course it reminds me of the G.I. Joe Raven. Is that what it's called? The Raven? Which is one of the coolest vehicles Joe's made. Sticking with the movie stuff, this is the Oi Mech Scorn, which is going to be about 15 inches tall, 14.57 inches tall. It has LEDs, also made of plastic and die cast. If you're into this movie stuff, I don't even know who Scorn is. Now to look less clueless, this is Megatron. I can identify Megatron as the LS-12, and this is an Oi Mech also. These are all Oi Mechs. I hope I'm saying that right. Oi. This is going to be the same size as Scorn, 14.57 inches tall. It's going to have die cast and plastic and extra detailing, new head with lights, modified backpack configuration, more alloy parts. And if you're into the movie stuff, Oi Mech's where it's at, and this guy is going to cost about 85 bucks. Quickly moving into their Nemesis Prime, I think it looks good, and he's going to be a little bit smaller than those ones I was showing. He's going to be 7 inches tall, and for 7 inches tall, he's only going to be like 22 bucks. But they have their third version of what's going to be their Abominus figure. It's KO oversized. This is the blot. And so this one's coming in, so I'm looking forward to getting this one and getting one step closer to building that figure. And I think it's going to be about anywhere between 15 and 17 inches tall, so pretty close to MP size. And since Abominus is not my favorite combiner, I can just live with this as my masterpiece. Many people will not accept that, but I probably will. Last Oi Mech I'm going to talk about, which I like this. They are Black Mamba or whatever, and people say the Transform Element is related to Black Mamba. Transform Element is doing some great stuff. Anyway, these motorcycle bots, the triplets, which, whatever, we're going to go into, I'm not going that deep. They look decent, but they're going to be KO oversized already. They're not even released yet, and they're going to get KO oversized. That's insane. They're working on a KO oversized of figures we haven't seen in the stores or even been able to order them offline, but they're going to be the size of deluxe. See, these were like smaller than Legends figures crammed into one deluxe package. Now they're going to each be the exact same size of all the other Siege Deluxe figures once they're transformed, so they look like 5.5 inches tall. For a $36 price tag, makes them about 12 each. So for some Legends news, we got some Iron Factory brothers here, and this is the Runabout Runamuck, and they look pretty good. Just some different pictures and updated pictures. Like, this is still in progress, so if you get your pre-order, you're good to go. We have some more Earthrise pictures, and it's just kind of like keeping your appetite going for the Earthrise figures. It's kind of funny because we're not going to see them until like March of next year. So some of these figures, they still look great. I think for the main line, for the price point, for what you're getting, I think they're amazing. I still do. They got pictures of Wheeljack. Wheeljack's not the best. I mean, when you think about it, you're going to be paying 20 bucks for this Wheeljack. You could buy a KO of the Masterpiece for probably 30, but still, it's kind of cool. And of course, this will scale with the rest of your Chug collection, and the alt mode looks sort of semi-like the vintage. But you know what? You can't do with the Masterpiece. You can't take Ironworks and build up your Wheeljack. It just won't work. It won't plug in. You have to have this Wheeljack to do it. And for all you Cyberverse collectors out there, and you know who you are, we've got some new versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron. I want to point out these look pretty clean for Cyberverse, and I have absolutely no clue what size they are. Are they deluxe? I'm gonna say deluxe. I'm gonna guess deluxe, but maybe I should call up Deluxe Baldwin and ask him. He might know, but I don't really know. These things here, they look all right. I mean, I'm not hating on them. And again, I want to remind everybody, Cyberverse is there to bring in the new generation of collectors, to bring in those 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids. Because we're all in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who knows, collecting the masterpiece stuff. And this is for the new generation. And the new generation doesn't even have any good media to get them into this. Hopefully the next movie does it. This week's transition from Transformers to Star Wars is not going to be a YouTuber that I'm shouting out, which I'm going to get back to that. But Shozi's got this Iron Man 1 helmet, which I think is so cool. It is $300 though, but it's one of those things that I always wondered. The Iron Man 1, would anybody ever get back to it? Would it just get left behind and forgotten about? Nope, you can get the helmet right now. Also, you can also get this Tony Stark. I think it's like 65 bucks. The proof that Tony Stark has a heart. I'm not going to lie, I really love Iron Man and the way they did it. I think that if it wasn't for Iron Man, I don't really think Marvel would have achieved what it achieved. I'll go on record saying that. So I'm going to kick off this week's Star Wars segment talking about Baby Yoda, but not what you would think. This is more than just a plush 11-inch vinyl head plush figure. This is maybe Mattel taking over Star Wars. Now, yes, that is a far stretch, and maybe Hasbro's going to keep it. I think Hasbro's been doing a decent job sculpt-wise, and the figures have been good. I don't think Hasbro's been doing a great job with the figure selection, but I don't think they have the choice. I think they're getting forced to deliver characters nobody on the Earth cares about instead of the characters that everybody on the Earth cares about, and they know it. But if Hasbro loses the license and Mattel gets it, when you look at the DC versus the Marvel, and the DC stuff always clearances out for like $5. Always, every year. So it's not popular. Nobody cares about it. Nobody wants it. It's not as good as what Hasbro's doing with the Marvel. And I fear that could be the end of the Star Wars line. Or Disney is just going to make all their figures themselves, because they've done that, because Disney's got a whole lot of stuff they make themselves. I don't know who's making it for them. I can't figure out which manufacturer it is, but that's a possibility. And that might take a whole video. This last week is Cyber Monday, but it's been Cyber Week. All week long, we've been inundated with ridiculously good deals. Now, if you have a Five Below, somehow they magically have a $10 section now. It's Five Below, but we have a $10 section. But they've been showing up, this tank's been showing up for $10 at Five Belows. So if you have that, mine doesn't sell it. Mine doesn't have it in stock. I would have gotten a couple of few, but they don't have it. Now, some Entertainment Earth had it for like $20. Walmart.com still has this deal going on for $30. You could get their Jabba Palace playset, which, by the way, would actually be beneficial to buy multiples of these so that you could build out a bigger display. I actually think, well, I heard somewhere that this Jabba Palace display is going to be one of 3. If you want this set, you might want to get a whole Jabba Palace display and buy all 3 and build out a really nice Jabba Palace display. And this comes with 2 figures that are carded inside the box. So $30 is a deal. So we've got more pictures of the clone Commander Bly that is revealed. And yeah, he looks okay. He looks good. If you like to get 50 different types of clones, then this is for you. And yeah, that clone Commander Bly was the 6-inch version. This is also the Black Series 6-inch version of the Sith Jet Trooper, which, by the way, is pretty cool looking. And, you know, I think that they are going to make so many of these different types of red Sith Troopers. and I just can't wait for the film. I'm actually looking forward to it, even though there's been a lot of negativity in the previews. There's been some discussion of this Skywalker film, and there's a George Lucas version that didn't get released. What I'm hearing. So the George Lucas version was the highest rated version. So hey, we'll see here in a few weeks. Is it 2 weeks? On the 20th when this thing comes out. And lastly, I want to talk about episode 5 of The Mandalorian. I think The Mandalorian is exactly what Star Wars needed. It's not super fast-paced. It's not non-stop battles. It is the correct pacing for original trilogy Star Wars. It matches the original trilogy to the prequels, to the sequels. It makes everything flow and feel good. There's a lot of tribute to all of the other films. It's added all in very well. I actually consider doing an entire video just talking about The Mandalorian and how it is what Star Wars needed. And I really do hope that the episode 9 takes a bit of that and we feel some of The Mandalorian in episode 9. If not, I still don't care. Mandalorian has a second season that should still be coming. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. Hopefully learn a few things. There's a couple of new reveals. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff and you enjoyed the news. But if I missed something that happened this week in Star Wars or Transformers that was really important and relevant, please let me know in the comments. And like and subscribe to Dare Hanger out.